This video is brought to you by Black Dragon Miniatures. Go check out their website today at blackdragonminiatures.com for all your wargaming and hobby needs.
Constructicons merge for the kill! Devastator. Prepare for extermination! Let the slaughter begin!
What up guys, and welcome to a special video here on Bleeped Up Productions. I'm your producer Lee, and today we have a little bit something special. On this channel we started to do Transformers the TCG, which is a fantastic trading card game based in the Transformers universe. And ever since I was a kid, I loved Transformers. Ever since I saw the movie and then the series, I was immediately hooked. But you're not here for my history, you're here for what the title of this thumbnail is. And that is the unboxing of the Big Green Machine.
Foolish man of flesh, if you interfere with us, you will be terminated.
We're going to talk a little bit about the box, the content of the box, and then my overall review and a little bit of a preview of stuff we're going to be doing with the TCG. So without further ado, let's get straight into the man, the myth, and the freaking robot, should we say, which is the green and purple machine of Devastator.
Quit squirming. This is for your own good.
So here we have it guys, we have the box of, well, let's just say the Constructicons which form Devastator. And I have to admit, I really appreciate the detail that has kind of gone into this beautiful box made by Hasbro, because it's just the purple and just the subtle little things I really like. So obviously it's a Decepticon, so Decepticon logo is purple. You can see the combiner here in the middle. You've got the deck, which is well presented here. And also, it's just how it is presented overall. I absolutely loved how they presented Metroplex, and I just absolutely love how they present the game in general. So anyway, as you can see on the top, it says the Devastator deck, which is pretty cool. Again, purple icon in the corner. Well, let's just say purple with the Decepticon icon. But the back is what sells it for me a little bit, which is really cool. So on the back, you've got the giant Devastator, how many there is. There's 6 in this combiner. Again, at the back, you get to see a little bit more. So you get to see Scrapper, Scavenger, and Mixmaster there. And also it tells you a little bit about the rules and also just all the other bits and bobs. So with the box done, as you can see on the side, it's also advertising Rise of the Combiners, which is obviously the new set, and all the other booster packs. So you can get the Predacons, you can get the Sentinels, the Stunticons, the Aerial Bots and the Dino Bots and Dreadwing, etc. So it's already telling you about the combiners that are already out, and obviously this boy is going to be joining them. So without further ado, let's get straight into the cards.
Scrapper, report! All present or accounted for, noble leader. Scavenger, Mixmaster, Long Haul, Bone Crusher, Hook, and myself.
And as you can see, boys, here we have the Constructicon. So we have Scavenger there, we have Scrapper, we have Mixmaster, then followed by Long Haul, then followed by Bone Crusher, and then followed by Hook. So obviously some of the artwork on these bad boys have changed throughout the years. So some of them don't look quite like their G1 counterparts, but still, we get to play the purple and green machine, also known as Devastator, and the Constructicons now in the TCG. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into what these robots do. And we're going to start with Scrapper, because Scrapper is the leader of the Constructicons.
You shall have the proof you require.
So what we're going to do, we're going to look at his alt mode. In his alt mode, he is a leader, he's a Constructicon, and he is melee. And also he has 3 attack, 7 health, and 1 armor. And he says at the start of the game, put your tower tracker into your KO area with a height counter on it. So the beginning of the game, you're going to be having 1 counter already on it, which is pretty darn cool, which I'm really, really happy with. Now, moving on to his bot mode, which is he is a leader, Constructicon, he is melee. He is a 3, 7, and 1. And when this or one of your other Constructicons is KO'd, while this is on the battlefield or in your KO area, put a height counter on your tower. So obviously all about the build of this, guys, is basically get the tower maxed out as quickly as possible, because obviously Devastator will become horrific, which we'll come to a little bit later. So moving on from Scapper, we're going to move on to Scavenger.
Now, the Autobot computer, Teletran 1, is just beyond this cavern ceiling.
Now, Scavenger's pretty bitching, guys. I really do like Scavenger. So he's basically in his alt mode. He is a Constructicon and he is melee. He has an attack of 3, health of 5, and an armor of 1. And when this attacks, you may scrap a card from your hand. And if you do, put a height counter on your tower. See the trend here, guys? Constantly scrapping cards from your hand to make your tower amazing. Now, in his bot mode, he is a Constructicon, he is melee, and he looks freaking awesome. I really like the look of Scavenger. He looks really, really cool. I really like the artwork. And moving down, we have 3 attack, 5 health, and 1 shield. So he basically stays the same, which is pretty decent. And he's got a built-in tough 1, which is really, really cool. So, moving on, we're going to get straight into our next one, which is Bone Crusher. I'm a little bit disappointed because I like the look of Bone Crusher in the Generation 1 cartoon.
Who are you calling inferior? Then I say we unite!
Yeah, you can see that. It doesn't translate well on this one, but I'm okay with it. I can live with it. So anyway, he, in his alt mode, is a Constructicon, he's melee. I believe all of them are melee builds, except Hook, I believe. I believe Hook is ranged because of his giant hook, obviously. But anyway, he has an attack of 3, a health of 4, and an armor of 1. And when this attacks, you may scrap a card from your hand. If you do, put a height counter on your tower. So as you can see, most of the Constructicons are going to be having the same ability. Now, as you can see in his bot mode, he's a Constructicon, he's melee. There's how he looks. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts, guys, in the comments below what you think. And he's got the same stats across. So he's got 3 attack, 4 health, 1 armor, and he's got Pierce 2, which is pretty darn cool. So, with Bone Crusher done, we're going to move on to Long Haul.
Remove the debris, Long Haul!
Remove! Remove! Always remove! I didn't join this outfit to be a dump truck!
Long Haul is a Constructicon, he is melee. In his alt mode, he also has, when this attacks, you may scrap a card from your hand, and if you do, put a high counter on your tower. Again, we want to build that tower.
This device will enable me to strike at the Autobots through Optimus Prime's only weakness.
And then in robot form, he's a Constructicon, he's got melee, his stats are the same, 2 attack, 6 health, 1 armor, and he's got bold 1. So he is the bold one of the group. So Long Haul is done. Let's move on to Mixmaster.
Mixmaster, we need acid!
Okay, let's mix up some H2SO4 with, was that HCl with, I know! I'll combine some of each of the stronger acids.
Always liked the name Mixmaster, but yeah, he also sounds like a terrible DJ, just saying is all. So with that being said, he is a Constructicon, he is melee, he's got an attack of 3 and a health of 4 and armor 2. So he is the first one with 2 armor out of the group, and he has the same stats, guys, of when this attacks you may scrap a card from your hand, and if you do, put a high counter on that tower. He then moves into alt mode, which looks really bizarre, I'm not gonna lie, looks very interesting with cement mix on the back coming onto his arms, but hey, nonetheless, he's a Constructicon and he's a melee character. He's an attack of 3, health of 4, and 2 armor, and he's got nothing special in his bot mode. He just gives you a little bit more armor out of the group. So we've got 5 down, and we're going to leave with my favourite Constructicon.
Hook! Disassemble him at once!
With finesse and pleasure.
6.5 hours later.
Excellent work, Hook!
Hook, he's a Constructicon. He's ranged, so he's the only ranged of the group. He has an attack of 2, 7 health, and also has 0 armor. And when this attacks, you may scrap a card from your hand. If you do, put a high counter on your tower. Now, this is the unfortunate thing, guys. I don't like the green glowing eyes. I prefer the red. Just let me know. Just have a look at this picture I've got of Hook here from the G1 cartoon, and then the artwork next to this. I loved if those green eyes were red, it would look way cooler, I think. That's my personal opinion. Comment below, let me know.
Nobody would follow an uncharismatic bore like you!
But anyway, he's a Constructicon. He's ranged. He has an attack of 2. He has 7 health and 0 armor, and he also has Pierce 1. So Bone Crusher and him are the only guys on the team that have Pierce. So as you can see, that is the 6 Constructicons done. Tell me your thoughts. Let me know what you think about them and their artwork and stuff. I really like them, other than my little gripes with Bone Crusher and Hook. But the one thing I need to say as well, guys, before we get into Devastator is the character costs. Now, the character costs for the Constructicons are pretty cool, because all of them are 4, except for Scrapper, who is 5. And Bone Crusher, Hook, Mixmaster, Longhaul, and Scavenger all have 4 stars. Now that's pretty awesome, I'm not going to lie, I'm really happy with the 4 stars. That means you can have small little Decepticons running around the board as well as your big boys, which is kind of nice to finish off a team. But yeah, I don't think they'll do anything amazing really on the board. I think you just, if you're going to play them outside of playing Devastator, you just want to get them to their bot mode quickly enough, because their alt mode won't help you at all, because, well, let's just say, if you don't take all the Constructicons, you can't make Devastator, and the tower thing just is pointless, so you just want to go straight to the bot mode, really. But then Scrapper's ability of, you know, when you basically kill or KO a Constructicon, you put a, you know, a high counter on the tower. You don't really have that ability. So, you know, maybe in the long run when they increase the points, that it could be good. But yeah, overall, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'll only play him as Devastator, to be quite frank, because who doesn't like the purple and green machine? But anyway, with that being said, we're going to get straight into the big machine himself, Devastator, and yeah, we're going to see what he does and what he does well.
Devastator says, surrender or perish!
Okay, so here we have Devastator in all its beautiful glory on the tabletop. It's actually really, really cool compared to some of the other combiners. I just love the artwork. I think it just basically sums up Devastator the best way possible. So coming on the screen now is his beautiful graphic. So as you can see, he has an attack of 6, he has 33 health, and he has 2 armor. Now this is really, really interesting. So when this is combined, repair an amount of damage on him equal to the height of your tower. Now, we'll be getting into the tower when we look at the battle cards, but yes, that is freaking amazing. That gives him a ton of survivability. And also, while your tower is 6 or higher, he has Bold 2 built in.
Devastator wants vengeance!
And then when your tower is 10 or higher, change this character's base attack from 6 to 10 attack.
Devastator says, your end is near!
That is freaking bonkers, guys. Honestly, that is really, really cool. So going into it, my first look at this is you want to try and last a little bit with the Constructicons, but you want to try and get to Devastator quickly. I don't know, because most of the normal combiners, some of them you want to rush to get to the big boy, and some you want to try and just outlast a little bit longer in normal robots before you become the big boy. So leave your comments below and let me know. Tell me your thoughts on how you should play Devastator. But obviously I'll go through my little bit of how I'm going to play him towards the end of the video. So without further ado, let's take a look at what's in the battle cards that are provided in this box.
Prepare to meet your doom. Nothing can withstand the might of Devastator.
So what we're going to talk about now is obviously the deck, because this is what makes your Transformers go. The battle card whole selection. So if you don't know anything about the TCG, the links are in the description for you to check out everything rules-wise and how to build decks and stuff like that. But anyway, with the battle cards, let's get straight into it. Obviously, we get these hilariously horrific tokens, which you can obviously use if you want to. But let's see what we get. So, obviously, you get all the battle cards. You get the tower, which is pretty cool. And you get this cool little instruction book on getting started. So, hopefully, this is a better rule book than the one that you get in the actual starter, because that one was pretty awful. I'm not going to lie. But I'll definitely keep it, because obviously it's got the boy Devastator on it, which is pretty awesome. So you get that, which is really cool. So the cards, let's have a gander. So we have the tower. So the first thing we get is the tower. Now, as you can see, it says, use this helper card to track the number of height counters on your tower. So obviously all your Constructicons will be building and building and building, because that's what they do. And basically you keep a track of how many counters you have by putting on that. So you can use a dice, you can use the tokens that are provided, obviously, with the pack. But, you know, it's pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie. It looks really cool. It looks like they're building a space bridge, which, you know, seems very themed with the Constructicons. So right, with that being said, we've split it up. So we've got the exclusive Constructicon cards here, and then the normal deck they give you. So it'll be quite interesting to see what cards they provide with the Constructicon build, which is going to be pretty cool. So, Constructicon Enigma is the first card we're going to talk about. Now, Constructicon Enigma is very, very cool. It says, if you have Devastator on the battlefield already, repair 1 damage from him, then put a height counter on your tower. So it's going to consistently keep asking for more height counters, which makes him even more stronger, which we talked about earlier. It also says, obviously, if you have 6 Constructicons in bot mode on the battlefield and or in the KO area, combine them to make Devastator the towering warrior. So you get 3 of those, and it's a green pip, so obviously when you're battling and you flip that card, that's really cool. You get to put it in your hand by discarding another card. So you get 3 of those. Now we get into the other cards, which is Builder's Tools. Now this card is pretty awesome, but it's also hit and miss, I think. So Builder's Tools is a utility. You can only put it on Constructicons, and it says when the upgraded character attacks, put a height counter on your tower. Now, I think it can be good, because obviously when you're attacking as a vehicle, you can discard a card from your hand to put a height counter on to the tower. Now, if you attack and you have this, you can have the possibility of putting 2 height counters on. So it could be good. I'm going to try it out in the battle report, which we're going to talk about a little bit towards the end of the video. But yeah, I'm going to try it out and see if it works. It's also an orange pip, so it helps while battling. So that's very, very cool. So we have Builder's Tool. That is done. You get 3 of those bad boys. Now, Heavy Landing. I love the artwork for this. It's just Devastator just destroying what looks like something from Cybertron, which is really cool. And it says, do 1 damage to an enemy. If your tower is 6 or higher, do 3 damage to an enemy instead. This is an action. It's very, very good. I really, really like it. It's very theme, and it's also a blue pip, so it's good for defending. So yeah, I approve of Heavy Landing a lot. So that's the third card even, sorry. We're going to move on to the next one, which is Reclaim. Now, Reclaim is pretty cool. So Reclaim is another action, and it says put an upgrade from your scrap pile on top of your deck. If your tower is 3 or higher, draw a card. So that's really cool. I really like the ability of getting an upgrade, which could be really cool, because that could work with builder's tools, really, if you wanted to do that, which is really cool. And also it's an action again, which is really sweet, and it gives you card draw if your tower is 3 or higher. It's also got a blue pip, so it's very good when it comes to battling and you need to defend. So that is Reclaim. So now we've got the last one of the unique Constructicon cards, and that is Work Overtime. Now, Work Overtime is an action. It's a white pip, so obviously when it comes to battling, you flip it 2 additional cards, but it is an action, and it says if you have fewer than 4 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference, which is pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie, because obviously you're going to keep on scrapping hand, scrapping hand, scrapping hand, but you know, to build your tower, obviously, so you're not going to have that many cards in hand sometimes. But if you have fewer than 4 cards in your hand, you can draw cards equal to the difference, which is pretty sweet. I really, really like Overtime. Draws more cards into your hand, which is pretty sweet. So they're the cards you get. So that's really sweet. That's really, really cool. Now, let's see what the guys at Hasbro are kind of building when it comes to a Devastator deck. So obviously this is a starter, so obviously you're getting all this stuff if you're new to the game and you're like, I don't know anything else, so all I'm going to have is these cards. So we're going to start it off, and they chose Blast Shield as one of the cards. Now Blast Shield, if it focuses, there we go, is a pretty decent card. So it's a blue pip, it gives you 2 defense, but it says after the upgraded character defends, scrap this card. So it's an armor, it's an upgrade, it's pretty solid. And how many do you get of this? Okay, you get 3. Then we move on to the next card, which everyone should be playing, I believe. It's Force Field, another armor. It has got a white pip, and also it says if the upgraded character takes 5 or more damage, instead scrap this card, and the upgraded character gains 4 damage. So Force Field is very, very good. So obviously they're building very defensive. So yeah, you get 3 more Force Fields. That's pretty sweet. Grenade Launcher. Now, Grenade Launcher is a very good card. Orange pip, so battling's fantastic. Gives you 4 damage output, which is very good, which is 4 attack. And then it says, after the upgraded character attacks, scrap this card. So, Grenade Launcher. How many did you get of those? I bet you get 3. Yes, you get 3, which is cool. The next card you get is Ramming Speed, another good card. Gives you a orange pip for attacking, and it says scrap an enemy upgrade, so it helps you get rid of upgrades of people. So it could be a utility, could be an armor, it even could be a weapon. So that is pretty solid, so that's really good so far for Ramming Speed, and you only get 2 of those in the deck. Then we have Scrapper Gauntlets, which is an orange pip for battling, and it's an armor, and it says when you put this on a character, scrap an enemy weapon. If you can't, draw a card. So I believe they're basically building a card draw deck here a little bit, which is pretty sweet. It also gives you +1 armor, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, Scrapper Gauntlets is also included in this beautiful box so far. And how many did you get? Did you get 3 of those? Yes, you get 3 of those. The next one, Improvised Shield. Absolutely love Improvised Shield. Improvised Shield is basically got 2 orange pips, so it's very good when it comes battling, and it's an armor upgrade, and it gives you tough 1. But you're not really using it for that ability, you're using it because you want to get 2 orange pips when you attack. So yes, Improvised Shield's in here. Is there 3 in there? Only 2. Okay, there's only 2. Aha! New card. So this is Pep Talk. This is a very new card because it's a Wave 2 card. Most of the first ones are basically either duplicates from Wave 1 or Wave 2. And Pep Talk is a very good card. It basically allows you to draw 2 cards, and it's a blue pip. So defending again, it's very good. But it's card draw, because you want to get as many cards as you can in this deck, because you'll be scrapping a lot of them. How many did you get of this? 3! You get 3 Pep Talks in this deck. That's pretty cool. Okay, moving on, we have Primary Laser, a very good card. I like Primary Laser. Gives you a blue pip for defending, and it gives you 2 attack. It's a weapon. I'm going to guess they're going to give you 3. And it's not just because it has my boy Prowl on it, I'm just saying. So 1, 2, 3, yes, gives you 3 Primary Lasers, which is cool. And then the last card in it, they give you 3 of these, is Rapid Conversion. Now, flip one of your characters into its other mode is basically what it does. It's an action, gives you a white pip, so it allows you to draw more battle cards, which is awesome, and rapid conversion. So yeah, on the side there should tell you exactly how many of you're going to be getting in this deck. So I'll give you a bit of a deck list of what they're going to give you. So it's not a bad starter deck, to be quite frank. It's very, very good. It's obviously mainly about attacking, building up a lot of your height counters by scrapping cards. And in this deck, there seems to be a lot of cards where you can just use it and then you scrap it and then it gets back into your hand, so it goes quite quickly. And also the fact that it gives you a lot of card draw as well is pretty unique. So that is pretty awesome. So without further ado, that was the deck. That's what you get, and that was all the robots. So now let's go into my overall review of this box.
Careful! It could be a trap.
A trap it is, Optimus Prime, and no way out.
So guys, should you buy this lovely new set?
Yes! Yes!
If you're looking to get into the TCG, I honestly think this is actually a really, really, really good set to actually get.
Get it?
I think it's a perfect introduction to the game. It plays very differently because of obviously this lovely card, the Tower. So you're basically wanting to get that to 10 very quickly, but also the fact that it plays differently because of Wave 2. Wave 2 is all about combiners and other robots, obviously, but the main thing is about combiners, and this adds another combiner to the mix. So overall, at the moment, we've going to have 7 combiners in the game so far. When Wave 3 comes out, we're probably going to have more combiners. Well, fingers crossed we do. So, should you purchase this?
Yes!
If you're looking to get into the TCG and you don't know, and you only want to play one character, this could be your guy because he hits like a Mack truck and he plays in a specific way. The deck they provide you in the battle cards is actually pretty good. You can add a few more cards to that to make it a little bit better on the cheap. You can add some cards that are quite expensive if you want to. How I'm going to play him is I'm going to go quite blue. I think I'm going to go blue heavy with a little bit of orange in there, but mainly blue and white. I think blue just to keep them alive, because I want to build that tower up a little bit more. But then I've also been looking at fun, interesting ways of how to turn blue against someone. So that's possibly using thermal weaponry, or even inverted could work in a deck that I'm possibly looking at. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. I think this is fantastic. I'm really praise Hasbro for doing a really good job. I'm happy this man is out, and I know D and me are going to be playing him quite a bit. So, with that being said, guys, we are going to move on to the final bit of this video, which is what's coming up for us here on the Bleeped Up Productions, revolving around Transformers the TCG.
There is much work to be done.
So guys, with that, you know from our first battle report, we made tons of mistakes and we apologise. But we only saw the rules as we read them. And we've asked about this in the Discord group and other stuff. So we know, and we've had many comments on there telling us what to do and what not to do. So we're going to take all that under advisement. So the battle reports will be coming out. You've got unboxing videos, because we've already done Wave 2. We've just done Devastator. We're going to be doing card highlights, where we're going to talk about action cards and stuff like that, and even characters. We've talked about even doing a challenge accepted series, which is basically taking a character which might not be the first thing you come across, like going, yeah, I'm going to take that guy, and try and make him work well. We're coming up with new ideas, and we're looking for collaborations. So if you're out there and you want to do videos with us, or you want to be a part of battle reports we do, let us know. We are in the Leicestershire area here in the UK, and we would love to do it. So with that being said, guys, that is the end of the video. Please leave a like on it if you've enjoyed it. That would be much appreciated. Comment below, tell us your thoughts on the box and your thoughts on the Constructicons. On the screen is a thumbnail to subscribe, and also a thumbnail to take you to the playlist of all the stuff we've done already on the TCG. And also on the screen there should be a thumbnail when it is live for the Devastator versus Superion battle report that we're doing. The aerial bots versus the Constructicons. So without further ado, take care, have a good one, and we'll see you in the not too distant future for more Transformers TCG.